I love spending time with you, but tonight I have something important to say. You're so tall and dark and handsome, and you make my stomach get all into butterflies. And what I love most about you is that you've been here for me in good times and in bad times, but I have not such great news, because even though I love you, you're not good for my hips.
1, 2, 3.
Hello and welcome to FFTV TV, the place to be if you want to grow more beautiful and successful as you age. It's January the 14th, and that means that in exactly a month, couples and lovers everywhere are going to be rushing to jewelry stores, flower shops and restaurants to show their affection for their significant others. So in this episode, we decided to spark a conversation about love. I mean, we're all old enough to remember when the Supremes warned us that you can't hurry love, and Roberta Flack wondered, where is the love? And Nat King Cole promised, when I fall in love, it will be forever. And the Beatles insisted that all you need is love. But as much as we all love a good love song, what we really want to work out is this. Why is love so tough to get right? And more to the point, what can we do to get really good at it? Because let's get real. At 40 plus, there are a few things that can happen with love. It lasts, it hides, or it finally reveals itself to you. And that's exactly what happened to Kathy Ann Roach over the course of her life. She's fallen in and out of love like most of us, given up on love, and then found it again well into her 40s. Today, her message is one of hope. After we chat with Kathy Ann, we have a very special segment dedicated to everyone who has not necessarily found love as we know it, but has not let that stop them from living out their best, most inspired lives. And finally, we're ending on a really sweet note, the sweetest notes of all. In fact, because we've got love in a mug, the best antidote to a bad day and the perfect wind down to a great one. Yes, we're talking hot chocolate, but not just your good old mix and stir. This is a blow mind hot beverage with an ingredient so unique you'll never see it coming. Stay tuned.
Thank you for calling Republic Bank, where homeownership has never been easier. How may I help you today?
Hello and welcome back. If you are just joining us, I'm Judette and you're watching FFTV TV's Love Episode. Before the break, we spoke to you about Kathy Ann Roach, and now she speaks to you about love and hope.
Who are you? This is the question published author Kathy Ann Roach believes you need to fully be able to answer in order to share a great relationship with someone else, especially when you are past the first blush of your 20s.
One of the things that are key when it comes to having a successful relationship is knowing who you are. And that is not just defined by a title of maybe I'm a mother or I'm a professional. It's knowing who you are at your core. Besides knowing who you are at that level, it's also knowing what a successful relationship looks like. And that would be, what are some of the things that you would definitely not stand for in your relationship? You know, I call those your deal breakers. You need to know what those are. And you also need to know what are the things that you're absolutely looking for in your partner. And we're not talking about just the frivolous tall, dark, and handsome type of thing that we've grown used to. It's about really knowing at that deep level who this man that you want to have this relationship with, who this person is, and and what do they bring to the relationship.
Katian, a divorcee, author, and mother of a teenaged boy, is intimate with what she terms the space between relationships. After 16 years with her husband, Katian suddenly found herself back in the singles club. Navigating this old but new space in her 40s, she found two great loves, herself and her current partner Wayne. These two loves spurred her passion to write her second book.
Well, I'm writing a book called 7 Steps in Healing, what every woman, or 7 Lessons in Healing, what every woman needs to know before moving on from a failed relationship. It's because so many times I have so many friends who I see jump from one relationship to another, and they don't take the time to pause in between to answer the who am I and what do I want question. So what ends up happening is you end up dating or being in multiple relationships with men who look different but are basically the same. So I hope that this book would help women to pause a little bit and think about what are some of the things I need to think about as this relationship has ended before I move into the other one.
In her book, Katian says, get over the fairy tale. Don't date the same man in a different suit. Don't try to be a fixer. Be a whole person and communicate your expectations.
After my divorce, I ended up in another relationship, which I wouldn't call a rebound relationship because this was somebody that I had known for a very long time, since school. And it was somebody who I knew cared for me for a long time. So he was very supportive, and it was something that I thought would work. Ultimately, as I was saying at the top, the understanding of truly who I was and what I needed wasn't there. So I ultimately, eventually had to get out of that relationship too. I took a lot of time then to stop and to pause and to ask myself, okay, the questions of what do I want? Who am I and what do I want? And when I figured all of that out, I really wasn't looking for a relationship then because I was cool, I was fine, I was okay. And then Wayne showed up. And basically he fit.
Katian's new love journey with Wayne is not the easiest road, as they only spend physical time together every couple of months. It is, however, one based on mutual respect, understanding, compromise, and love.
Long distance relationships are hard. Skype is the best thing ever. But I guess there's a sense of maturity in terms of understanding who you are and what the relationship is. So with us, we use the technology, we Skype a lot, we talk a lot, and I think being in a long distance forces you to have a lot of conversations. Because what else can you do other than talk to each other? So you do get the opportunity to really get to know somebody on a very, very intimate level.
In today's world, everything is easier. It's easier to start, easier to navigate. It's even easier to communicate. Why can't it be easy to own my new car? Come in today and drive easy with JMMB. Your best interest at heart.
Need a new stove, fridge, bed, or TV? Short of cash? Come to Courts and let's get it done with unbeatable savings across the store. And get what you need now with Courts Ready Finance. So let's get it done. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Love at any age, let alone in your 40s like Katian did, is great, but what happens if you don't? If, say, you went through a divorce, or your partner died, or your children grew up and moved out, or if in the story of your life it has always been just you, what happens to you when you enter your 50s, your 60s, or your 70s essentially alone? When Savitri, a member of our team, asked me that 2 months ago, I had no idea what to say. but we should start thinking about it. After all, the good news is that today, all of us can look forward to potentially living a very long lifespan. The not so great news? What if we did that alone? What will that look like? What are your fears? Is there any joy in it? So with the help of our crew, I asked several women what aging meant to them. Here's what they had to say.
Growing older means, for me, has meant growing more confident, more relaxed, and a little more authentic about who I am.
Growing old for me means a lot of pain in the morning. But it means maturing, understanding things better, finding out more about myself, feeling more comfortable in my skin.
Getting older means more opportunity to practice something that you're passionate about every day and gain more experience.
I think it's a great thing. It's a blessed opportunity because, you know, you could die any moment.
Oh gosh, on any given day it's different. Some days I'm like, yeah, and then other days I'm like, oh.
So sometimes, honestly, when I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's me then, yeah.
Definitely my laugh lines are more defined, for sure.
Depends if I've got my glasses on. And most of the time I see what I want to see.
How is sex different as you age? Well, there's certain physical things that change, so you need to, what do you need? You need to, this is an embarrassing question.
As you go through menopause, then that starts to become quite interesting.
I guess, well, the positions will probably have to change up a little bit, you know. Things mightn't be so, you know, and you know, it might be slow.
Like, I hope you still do it. I hope apparatus and parts and particles still work.
Time is ticking, you're getting older, so you're not waiting if it ain't going right. You're saying, hold up, bud, let's do a 180 and try this. So you're much more, I think, frank about what your requirements are.
A lot more love and understanding is required, I think.
What is the G word?
I don't even know what the G word is. Oh, the grey word, yeah.
Sometimes I let them go and I feel okay, and I mean, box dye is your friend, that's just a fact.
My mum actually, she kept dyeing her hairs until she was in her 70s. She was very reluctant to let it go.
So I was watching Sex and the City, love that show. And there was a specific episode where she gets a gray hair down there, right? And I thought this was like a myth, I didn't know. And then it happened.
I wax, so I don't have to see, right?
The negative parts of aging are, you don't feel any different until you talk to a 22-year-old who's half your age and you think you're still relevant and you realize they are viewing you through a completely different lens.
How am I in this demographic now? When did that happen?
Just seeing yourself generally tailing off a little bit, you know, but it's inevitable. Everybody lives, everybody dies.
My grandmother died less than 6 months ago, and she was 82. She started to she didn't forget me, but later down it was like she couldn't remember all the time. And that was not cool.
The good thing about aging is that you definitely become more confident in yourself.
You've let go of a lot of stuff that you might have been holding because you wanted to keep a certain image projected of who you are.
Overcoming insecurities that may have plagued you for a long time.
I guess I would be looking forward to like seeing my grandkids and my great-grands.
What to say to somebody when you're alone in your old age? Well, Facebook.
Go out there, make a friend, buy a dog.
Create some connections because that's the point of life.
Maybe you're losing your peers or your family has moved on with their lives and they're busy, they can't make as much time for you as they would have normally. I think, and maybe that's just my own personal fear.
My grandmother, she had her family still, and I know she was alone because she lost so many people that she would have grown up with and she could have related to. Somebody to take a trip back, that's the person she didn't have, and I know she would have missed that a lot.
Age is nothing but a number, but... Okay, wait, give me a second to think about that answer.
Grounding.
Age is nothing but a number, but at times it is big foot hitting your butt. That's what I think it is.
A pain.
I am convinced more than ever that one of the best things about starting a conversation about growing more beautiful and more successful as we all age is that we can share and swap stories and fight back against stereotypes about what it means to get older. No matter what your reality, you are truly never alone. And if you're feeling that way, reach out to your family or to people in your church, even your community, hell, even us. We're always here for a good chat and a warm cup of cocoa. Speaking of hot chocolate, what's the weirdest thing you have ever put into yours? A little rum, some coffee, maybe even a dash of Baileys? You'll never guess what is in ours.
Fall in love with life again. At the place memories begin. An enchanted place with much to share. Come celebrate life's moments here. Get it all at the falls. That's West Mall. That's West Mall. Get it all at the falls. Feel the joy and step inside. A shopper's dream is what you'll find. And all your life you will recall your special moments at the Falls at West Mall.
In life, there are always those weird pairings that people swear by. And we're not talking about people, we're talking about food. You know, the ones that just don't make any sense and you don't really understand how they work together, but somehow they just do. Like fries and ice cream, or bacon and maple syrup, or peanut butter and coconut milk in Thai food. Strange, yes, but they work. We have one more to add to that list. Beetroot. Wait for it. Beetroot in hot chocolate. Don't knock it until you've tried it, because this is a combination that really, really is delicious. The sweetness in the beetroot goes perfectly with the chocolate and it makes it so thick. You'd swear your hot chocolate had cream in it. Here's our vegan superfood hot chocolate, aka love in a mug, that has all the flavors you love but with a whole lot less sugar and a whole lot more of the good stuff. If you've got no plans this Valentine's Day, here's what you need to get. A steaming cup of hot chocolate, superfood of course. Oh, wait, a blanket, a classic movie or a good book, and maybe some soulful jazz. That's it. Simple, but oh so effective. Want some more Valentine's or Solentine's ideas for the big day? Head over to our blog, forward40.com, and browse our collection. We've got some pretty special ideas to help you make the day or any day memorable. And that's about all the time we have. I'm sure you have plenty on your plate before the week starts, but remember to take a moment for yourself because, as the immortal Whitney Houston says, the greatest love of all is learning to love yourself. I can't sing, but she says it's the greatest love of all. Preach, Whitney, preach. I can't believe we just have one more week left together, but that's for the next episode. So I'm saving all my cheers and goodbyes for then. Until next Sunday, lovelies. Stay you, stay beautiful, and stay inspired. Bye. I love you all.
Pain in the, well, anywhere you think of.
Stop. Giovanni, you can't speak at all, and Miss Dudu should know that. Mm.